All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is November 13th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here today. Thank you to all my paying subscribers. Appreciate that. Try to provide actionable, profitable content all day. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody that shares the content. Special shout out, Kathy, Sarah Roasted, Bob Jordan, John Jordan. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's take a look how I made 3,200 with a 58K account. I risked only 10% each day. So my risk was 5,800. Let's take a look at what the markets did today. So if we look at the markets on SPY, we had, you can see right here, a lot of lines here. Let me take these lines out. Actually, I'm not going to take them out. I'm just going to make them invisible for a time being so we can just see what's going on here without them kind of disrupting the picture. So let's just move them back some. So all these lines represent support and resistance. And you can see where price came down to each line, gave us a little shimmy shake bounce, and then left off with us, okay? All right, so, for today, 15-minute downtrend the whole day. All right. Look at the candlesticks riding the yellow line, which is the 3 EMA, and the yellow line hovering below the 8 EMA, which is the white line, which is both of them hovering below, all three of them hovering below the 17 EMA, which is all those red dots right there. Okay, so 15-minute downtrend all day. You can see daylight from the time price opened until the time price closed. We're closing the day at the low of the day, at the end of the day. Looking like support here, but I got to tell you, whenever this happens on the bullish side, we tend to gap up. And so we may gap down tomorrow. We'll see what happens. So that's the 15-minute chart. With the 10-minute chart, you can see we got a few pinches. I got daylight in between that one. No daylight there. Little daylight here. No daylight there. And a little bit of daylight coming into the close. Okay, so I'm just going to call it 10-minute bearish consolidation because we moved down and over to the right, hovering over 671. So there's 10-minute chart, 10-minute bearish consolidation into the close. 2-hour chart. You can see the candlesticks, lots and lots and lots of red candlesticks here. Way too many. We've got the 3 EMA underneath the 8. We've got a 2-hour downtrend right there on SPY on the 2-hour chart. Daily chart. Let's take a look at that on the daily chart. Big red candle, big ugly red candle, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish cross, underneath the 17, doing the whole, I don't know if they did fill the gap. Let's just take a look. See if we can move this out of the way. Yeah, kind of filling the gap right here. We had a gap up. Well, they filled the gap. So bears came in, filled a bullish gap. Daily chart, still in a downtrend till we take out the all-time high. All right. Big red candle. Not sure if we're going to get follow through on that tomorrow. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. We hit support. I'm thinking we bounce. I don't know. All right. But we did hit support. Maybe the support's no good. We'll find out tomorrow morning. Okay. So daily chart in a downtrend. Was not moving down. Now it's moving down today. Okay, so lower high, lower low, closing under the trap. Weekly chart still in an uptrend up here. I'll zoom way out so you can see it, and I'll move it over. Okay, so you got lots of green dots. All right, 3 EMA on top of the 8. Weekly uptrend coming into the close. Monthly uptrend coming into the close on SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ, monthly uptrend. Weekly, still in an uptrend. Got that bearish engulfing. Daily chart. Still needs to make a higher high. Has not made one yet, so still in a downtrend. They made a lower low. Weekly daily candle for QQQ today. Lower high, lower low. Closing underneath the bearish trap. Underneath the 17. Underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Big ugly red candles today. QQQ and SPY. 2-hour chart. Got a 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. 10-minute. We've got 10-minute bearish consolidation coming into the close. Looking like they're trying to put together, based on the bodies, a rally back to VWAP right there coming into the close on QQQ. I'm just going to call it bearish consolidation. It's a move down and then over to the right. Okay, so there's QQQ. Let's look at Diamond Dow. Now, Diamond Dow put in a new all-time high yesterday. That did not happen today. Huge bearish engulfing. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bullish trap, but over the 17, over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Top of quadrant 4, that's still bullish. All right, and still in an uptrend. By the way, QQQ, still bullish up here, but still in a downtrend. Okay, still bullish, top of quadrant 4, middle of quadrant 4, but still in a downtrend. SPY, still bullish up here at the top, but still in a downtrend. Got to take out the all-time highs. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM got a huge red candle, lower high, lower low, closing underneath bearish trap. Closing underneath the 17, closing underneath, the all-time high anchored VWAP. So, and in a downtrend. So, bullish and in a downtrend up there at the top of quadrant 4, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Again, Diamond Dow, still bullish and still in an uptrend. FNGU, price action for FNGU, huge red candle, lower high, lower low. Closing underneath, bearish trap, underneath the 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Looking for a revisit of major support down here. Price action is still in a downtrend and moving down. And down here in the middle of quadrant 4. So that's bullish and in a downtrend right there. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Up there at the near the top of quadrant 4, that's bullish and still in an uptrend. Silver makes a new all-time high. That's bullish. Let me make sure. High there is 49.25. High there is 49.26. Silver makes a new all-time high. Just dropped the mic. It doesn't get any better than that. All right. Obviously, everything's still in an uptrend and still bullish, making new all-time highs. I'll back out so you can see the rally, which started right here 2022, which led to the all-time highs right there. Let's take a look at UNG. Did they climb on top of 2025 high anchored VWAP? They're still trying to climb. They've got one arm over the ledge, and they're trying to lift that leg up and get over the top of the ledge there on the 2025 high anchored VWAP. You mean they better do something soon. 2026 is around the corner. All right. Candle for today, higher low, higher high. Closing over bullish trap, over the rising 17, under the 2025 anchored VWAP, the high anchored VWAP. New action, closing over Not in quadrant 1. They're now in quadrant 2, but still in the lower third. So still bearish. Putting in the big time rally here on UNG on the daily chart. So in an uptrend, but still bearish. Okay, let's take a look at USO. USO, lower high, lower low. Okay, making lower highs and lower lows in the chart. So still in a downtrend, still in the neutral area, but losing it quickly, or day by day, it's melting off a little bit more and a little bit more. Not in the lower third, not in the upper third. So still got to break this downtrend line. Haven't been able to do it in a long time, not in the last 5 months, 4 months. So got to break the downtrend line. Doesn't look like it's very hopeful. So there's USO on the daily chart. Downtrend and neutral right there. Let's take a look at our technicals. First technical, T2101. Okay, the market moved down, and we got a mix. So participation increased at the beginning of the day, but quickly faded by the end of the day. All right, so there's the breadth and the index. So as we made lower lows throughout the day, because we kept melting all day long, okay, we lost more and more participation on T2101. I guess that's a good sign. I guess they want to be bullish. T2122. We could not hold the higher ground. That was the task that I gave them. There was a checklist, and there was only one thing on the checklist: hold the higher ground. And you can see clearly it didn't happen. T2122 with the short checklist, unable to complete it. Price action ripping through the buyer's chop zone, down to the midpoint, through the seller's chop zone, and landing and camping out overnight in the sell zone, T2122. That's the 4-week new high, new low ratio. So no such luck there for the bulls. T2123, we made a lower low, so we're now back into a downtrend and challenging the backside of this fading 200 SMA. Okay, not my favorite place to be unless I'm a bear. Again, down at quadrant 1 in the middle, that's bearish. All right, and in a downtrend, T2123 15-minute chart. 3-bar chart, putting in a lower high and looking to dig out some lower lows. Still underneath the flat 200 SMA here. That's bearish and in a downtrend. From the bigger perspective, it's bullish, so we're just going to call it neutral right here at the bottom of quadrant 4. Neutral and in a downtrend right there. Could be bullish if they just acted a little bullish. They are in the upper third, but you got to act a little bit better than that. T2123. FNGU, horrible day. We find ourselves back underneath the 200 SMA, down into the prior consolidation, setting up a head and shoulders, a bearish head and shoulders. There's the head, got a double left shoulder with left shoulder with a lapel out here on the left here, and then we've got right shoulder, still missing the lapel, so we'll see what happens. There's FNGU down here near the support line. Hopefully we can bounce. Okay, this is the support line right here. In a downtrend, because here's the low, we made lower lows. Again, underneath the falling 200 SMA, not my favorite place to be unless you're a bear. All right, and I'm not a bear. So there we go with FNGU. So that's it for me. Oh, how we made money today. It was a struggle for me all day. I'm going to tell you that right now. It was just a struggle. Just couldn't get the uptrend going. And the premium on the puts was so high, I had to go way out in strike or expiration, and and then you got the fear of that decay coming in anytime they stop the momentum, then the decay comes in. So it was a horrible day. I made money, yes, but it was not fun. It was just a lot of hard work, really. I did not like it at all today. The premium in the puts was way overpriced, making me, spend three times as much for the puts, leaving very little room for, to go after profit. I mean, it was nothing but scalps. It was nothing but scalping all day long. It was horrible. It was not fun. Nothing but scalps all day long, trying to get the downtrend and trying to get some profits with the high premium that they charged us because price was pulling back and volatility was high. So for me, it was a crappy day. Having to double down, triple down, quadruple down just to bring my price or my cost basis to at the money where price was trading. I hate doing that. It's just a lot of work to do that. So if you didn't trade today, kudos to you. You didn't miss anything. All right. Didn't miss anything at all. All right. Because just a lot of hard work with some overpriced puts. It just horrible day altogether. So for me, made money. You can see right here, lost 31 on those calls, obviously, because we went down all day. All right. So no surprise there. Okay. So on the 5-minute chart, you can see I was just like lucky to squeak out of it, like break even. All right, lost $28 there on those calls. Well, why not? Price was going down all day long. Again, just when it looked like it was ready to turn, they rolled over like Rover. All right, every time. Looking like it's ready to turn here at support, and they rolled over like Rover. All right, looking like it's ready to turn right there, like, oh, government shutdown, we're going higher, and they rolled over like Rover. It's just nothing but bated breath all day. And look at the rally now, after market. Okay, look at this. Oh, hey, now let's go to 674. Couldn't get there all day long. Price action just crappy. Overpriced options. Not a fun day at all. A lot of doubling down, a lot of tripling down. Again, lucky to break even with minus 28 here on the 674s. I thought we were going to go for it right here. We missed it. Then we started to turn around again. I figured we're going to go for it. We're going to really get it this time. And they couldn't make it before market closed. Clearly, they can make it, okay, because look at the aftermarket hours. They're going for it now, okay? Couldn't make it before, but they can do it now. So there you go. That's the market for today. 248 on some puts. No wonder I made money on puts. Like I said, 15-minute downtrend all day from the beginning of the day to the end of the day on the puts, all right? So if you had puts made you money. All right, 591 puts, 675 strike, made 591 on those. Okay, again, if you had puts, price just dropped all day. All right, as long as you were willing to hang on, all right, through every support zone that they tagged and melted through, Okay, you were able to make some money on your puts. All right, and they went through a lot of support areas. I mean, all these green lines were targets and support areas for price to bounce off of. And you can see right here's the first one. They failed that one. They failed this one. They failed this one, and this one. Okay, so just nothing but failing the support. Actually coming down to try and test some major support eventually here. If they keep this up. 1800 on some calls. Again, buying the lows down here and just selling, doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, and then finally squeaking out at break even sometimes. And that's how I made that on these calls. Same deal. All right. Just waiting for the price action for somebody to fill their spread and get out, and then it triggers my trade up there. So made 600 there. 229 on these puts. Again, puts should have made you money all day long, being since the 15-minute downtrend was intact all day. There was daylight in the 15-minute downtrend. Again, all day long. All right. The yellow 3 EMA never touched the 8, almost from beginning to end of day. Lost 442 on those puts. No wonder I sold them short. That's why. Okay, that's a part of a spread. Made 217 on those puts. Again, if you had puts, it was pretty easy. All you had to do was hang on until they broke the support in your strike area, and then there you go. You got rewarded handsomely right there. Good. Yeah, it was clawed. Yeah, nothing but clawing and trying to stay alive. That's all. Same here, Jim. So it was just for me. It was not. It was a profitable day, but it was certainly not fun. I'll tell you that. Not fun at all. And the overpriced, high volatility options clearly left us no room for profit in those, which, it looked like in order to get anything that was going to be profitable, you had to go through maybe 2, maybe 3 support lines. So you're buying 666 strike calls with 0 days till expiration, and you're looking for, well, we're going to have to go through this support area, that gap fill, this support area, and we're going to hit this by end of day. Slim chance of that happening, but, and that was about the only one in my price range. So that's kind of sometimes some of the stuff that I traded was 666, 667 puts. Again, not fun at all. All right, that's it for me, traders. I'll see everybody tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Hopefully, it's an easier day. All right. A lot of volatility. I don't know when we're going to get some of this economic data. We had economic data that was supposed to be spilled out to us today. It was not. It was delayed. I don't know if they're going to trickle it to us next week. They're going to schedule it to us. If they're going to release it. Eventually, there's going to be a lot of data that's going to come out. So we'll see what happens. And I think we got AVGO could be reporting next week. So next week, maybe some big-time action coming into Black Friday. All right, everybody. Everybody have a beautiful evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you, John, for sharing. Yeah, John's game plan worked. You can see below 616.63 on John's game plan, and he had the markers out for targets. Beautiful downtrend on the 15-minute, John, on QQQ and SPY. Daylight between the 3 and the 8 on both of them, just about all day long. And those worked out well. If you found a strike that was good early in the day and you were willing to hold on to it all day. Exited gold calls for daily gold. Way to go, Robert. Thanks, Alan. Out some PSI trades. Wash for the day. Yeah. It was a tough day. It was a tough day. Not easy. All right, traders. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Maybe we'll be... maybe we'll get a nice bounce back up to 680. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, not a fun day. Not with the overpriced options. And you got to, just go through 3 support areas just to get into the profit land. Yeah. All right, see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Everybody have a beautiful evening. Thank you for hanging out with me.